name is Tanya, and welcome to another class provided by Wellness for Jiu-Jitsu. If you haven't done so already, then please subscribe or give this a share. Let's get started. Starting in child's pose, turtle's pose, really think about breathing, relaxing. Kind of stretch your back. Couple more breaths here. Turtle's pose is nice because it's also a pose or position that we utilize in Jiu-Jitsu. So being as flexible as we can helps us kind of get a tighter turtle, better defense. Good. From here, let's go and just windshield wipe your feet to the right and then sit back and stretch. Staying here for a couple more breaths. Good. Let's go to the other side. Windshield wipe to the left. Good. Let's go ahead and back to the center. Take another breath. Good. And we're going to roll up to those hands and knees. Let's turn the other direction. And think about from here, you guys, spreading out your hands, kind of stretching your wrists, right? We're going to kind of exhale, arch up into the back. And you can take the reverse and dog tilt the back. Good. Again, arching up. Cat. And bringing it down. Good. Let's come back to center, and then we're going to move your ribs, kind of like a jump rope, like in a circle, right? And then reverse. Good. Now let's reverse those palms, right? So fingertips are going to face the knees now. And think about really stretching those forearms. And if this is too much of a stretch, remember we can bring your knees closer. If you want more of a stretch, you bring them back. You can kind of move in between those shoulders, sinking in, pushing up. Especially if you're using your grips a lot, you'll get that forearm pump, right? So this is always nice. Been really using this one a lot when my forearms get really tight. Grabbing on with ease. Good. And then let's take your palms now where they're facing you, and you can turn your fingertips in. you know, kind of like a wrist lock, right? And then we're gonna bend the elbows. And then you're gonna press through. And bend the elbows. And press through. Good. Come back to center now. Good, we can kind of just circle around, warming up those knees, shoulders, hips, and wrists a little bit more. Try to do anything, you guys, that makes you feel like you're kind of getting into those tight spots, right? A couple more breaths, just moving around, whatever feels right for the body right now, especially what's going to get you warmed up or cooling down from a roll. Good, and let's come back to center. So you're going to go ahead and let's extend that left leg out. Move a little bit more forward here. And then we're going to bring it in and curl. And then extend it out. And curl in. And extend out. So we're doing that spinal balance, activating the core. Let's extend that right arm. Good, lower the right arm. We're gonna take your left leg out to the side like a karate kick, right? Hold, exhale, lower it down. Inhale, let's lift those arms up. Just a nice stretch. Good, so you can either take your hands out to the side or even behind your head. And you're gonna lean over to the left. For a side view, think about here. And I'm just leaning and kind of opening up towards the ceiling. Good, now come back to center. And then you can place your right arm down. Bounce, and then other arm up. Reach over. Good, back to center. You can extend those arms, remember, or keep them here. And then you're gonna just lean. Good, back to center. Other side. And lean. Remember, as much as you can. You wanna put a hand on your hip instead, absolutely. Whatever feels best for you. Good, let's come back to center. So you're gonna bring it forward, plank hands. So arms come forward here. And then from here, we're gonna tuck your right arm under. So it's the opposite with a straight leg. And bring it down. You can tuck this left arm behind. Or you can bring the left arm over. Like an arm bar or a kimura. Wherever your shoulder feels like it needs just a little bit more flexibility, range of motion, mobility. Breathe. Hopefully you're grabbing close to your right leg or it could be right hip, whatever feels comfortable. If you need to, you can support your neck by just placing maybe that left hand here. Remember, we're just trying to get the body in the positions that we're going to be doing in our rolls, in our drills. Getting the flexibility. And slowly start to unwind. You're going to bring your hands forward, plank hands. And let's just do a little spinal movement here. So kind of exhale, arch up. And then inhale, relax, and then tailbone up. Good, from here, let's bring that left leg forward. Place it on the outside. You can bring that right knee back. Hold here for a breath. Really trying to open up the hips. Keeping the hips flexible is, I think, crucial to, preventing injuries as much as we can. And bringing it back. And then bringing it forward, so a little bit of active movement. And back. Good, and forward. You're gonna bend that back leg, and if you can reach for it, let's see if you can reach for that foot, opening up, and I kind of roll the shoulder up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Really pushing into that right hip, trying to open it up. Good. Release. You're going to bring that right leg across, right? So across your mat. And then that's when you kind of bring the hip back, right? So kind of like our combat base, right? Hip movement going through and practicing our sit-ups, right? Good. 2 more. Last one. Good. Placing your hands down. Let's straighten that back leg, going into a lizard lunge, right? Nice deep lunge here. Keep your right arm down. So the bottom arm's going to stay down. Left arm, top arm's going to come up. You're just reaching. Making sure your shoulders are on top of each other, right? We're stacking the shoulders. When you're ready, you're going to roll over to that right heel, okay? Now, if your wrist is a little sensitive, you can set the right knee down instead. But you're going to roll over, stack the legs, and you're going into a nice side plank here, right? Really squeezing in, lengthen. Good, let's bring it down to plank. Shifting it forward, weight over the shoulders, lower it down. Let's do our cobra from here. We're gonna do it a few times. So you're gonna inhale, lift the upper body just a little bit, and then exhale, relax. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, lift. And relax. Last time, inhale, lift, and let's hold it. Good, relax. Push back on up. Plank. Bringing it back. You can bend the knees, down dog. Really think about stretching all the way through the spine. So I'm really pressing my hands into the mat. I bend my knees so my spine can really lengthen. You can move your head around, whatever feels good here. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring those knees down, and then we'll do the other side. So I'll go this way. So think about now we're going to extend the right leg out this time. Okay? So extend the right leg, and then you're going to exhale, curl it in. And then extend and curl in. Extend, curl in, extend, and left arm extends, hold the core. Left arm comes down, and then take your right leg out, karate kick that one. Exhale, bringing that one down. Inhale, let's go ahead, bring those arms up. And remember, we can come, take it behind the head, or arms out to the side, whatever feels good for you. Leaning over to the right side. Breathe. Really try to look up towards the ceiling. Good, let's come to the other side. You make that fist. Good, come back to center, other side. Good, last time, other side. Good, and let's come back to center. So arms come forward, plank hands. You're gonna tuck your left shoulder underneath this time, reaching for the right foot, okay? So coming in, roll it under. The right hand, remember, can either help support your neck, or you can take the right arm behind, or right arm over. Just kind of even noticing which side's a little tighter, right? We always tend to have our favorite side to do our tricks and our submissions, and we always wonder why. Maybe it's because we're tight, so maybe kind of giving each side some equal range of motion and mobility might change your game. A couple more breaths here. Good, when you're ready, let's come back up. You're gonna bring your right leg forward, slide the right knee back, stay here for a couple breaths. Just getting into these deep lunges, right? Trying to get some hip flexibility. Let's start to actively move back. And forth. Good, and back. Good, staying here this last time. Let's bend this left knee. Let's reach back. Remember, if we can't reach, if you have like a belt, your belt nearby, that always kind of helps. Or just kind of, keep it straight and we'll get there, right? Just gotta keep practicing every day. Every day of practice is really important, not just once a week, but trying to make it a part of every day, somehow, some way. Really rolling that shoulder up, really pushing into that left arm, activating. And bringing your knee across this time, right? Cross the mat. And then you're gonna roll back onto that left hip. And then we push forward. Nice range of motion here. Trying to keep ankles, right? Huge thing with ankle locks. Trying to just keep them as mobile and flexible as possible so we can have good defense. Good, last one here. Coming forward. Straighten that left leg. Sink into that lunge just a little deeper this time. Each time we're always trying to go just a little deeper. Trying to move through the stretch. Bringing your right arm up. Really activating here, pushing through the left hand, reaching all the way through the opposite. Good, we're gonna roll over to that left heel, right? Bring that right foot. If you wanna bring that left knee down, you can. It's a nice modification for a wrist injury. Good, bring your right arm down, bringing it forward, all the way forward. Good, let's bring your hands behind. I'm gonna do this a few times, a little skydiver. So we'll start with upper body first. So you're just gonna inhale, lift the upper body, and relax. We do that one more time. And inhale, lift, upper body. Hold. And relax. Now just the lower body. Inhale, lift. And relax. And lift. And relax. Now full body. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe. And exhale, relax. Bring those hands by the shoulders again. Pushing up, plank. Pushing back, down dog. Let's bend those knees. You can even walk your feet up a little closer to your hands, right? Then you're going to bend your knees. And then you can straighten a little more. Kind of bend one knee, straighten the other. And bending both, coming back. Good. And if you want, we can even do a little push off, right? I know it kind of gets a little scary lifting those feet off, but wherever you feel comfortable, putting a weight to your hands. One more. And then let's jump forward into a squat, right? So we're going to jump. Stay here. Try to get heels to the mat. I know we might be working there. It might be still pretty tight. But every day that we do a little bit of this, you would really be surprised how much the body changes. And the more we can create flexibility into the muscles, right, the more they stretch. Good. So let's get a little bit more of a warm-up going on. So we're going to either jump and turn, or we can just walk and turn, right? So the jump and turn is up, coming down. Or if we're not ready to do that, maybe we have an injury, we're just coming up, reach, stretch, turn, bring it down. You're going to walk it out. Nice plank here. Lower it down. Let's do skydiver full. So that means we're just lifting up arms and legs. Hold. Good, bring it down. Let's push back up. Down dog. Bending those knees, maybe a little extra stretch, hip side to side. And bring it forward in a squat. Hold here. We can bring our hands to heart. Whatever feels good, right? Just trying to open these hips a little bit. Good. Jump turn. Walk it out. Plank. Bringing it down. Good. So we have a choice here, right? So we can either just do skydiver if we need a little bit more of a back stretch. Let's go into grabbing ankle, another ankle. It's like you're upside down back bend, right? Just kicking those ankles in, opening the shoulders. Make sure you're breathing. Remember, skydiver is the option. Exhale, relax. Bring the hands underneath. And push up. Down dog. Again, gonna move those hips side to side. And jump squat forward. Good. So from here, it's going into crow pose. So think about hands are wide, okay? And we really want to think about bringing those knees up to the armpits. And then you kind of just balance. Now, if you don't feel safe, obviously, lifting up the feet, we can just stay here. But the more that you kind of really think about bending those elbows and lifting up, the better balance you'll have. And looking out, not looking under. Coming up, hold. You bring it down. And if you want another attempt, one more time. Balance. It's really the core and the hip flexibility here. The focus. And then just making sure we're not looking under, we're looking out, right? Good. So from here, let's go ahead and stretch those legs. You bring your feet in a little bit. Nice forward fold here. You can take your fingertips and the folds of your elbows. Nice gentle bend in the knees. Good. Let's come back down to the squat. We're going to work a core on the mat today. So let's come down to the seat. So you have two options, right? We can always put hands behind, but just a little bit of a challenge, right? Coming back to sit bones. So again, options, especially if you have tight hip flexors, we can always bring our hands behind, okay? So two options, either hands up or hands behind. So you're gonna bring knees up, extend out, triangle, extend out, triangle, right? So arm challenge, right? Extend out, triangle, extend out, triangle. Two more. Extend out, triangle, extend out, triangle. Good. Extend out. Let's hold, boat pose. Good. Now, from here, let's go ahead and bring your hands behind. Fingertips away. And we're going to go into what we call tabletop. So let's just bring in those hips up. Right? Now, if you want to try another option with your wrists, fingertips in, Whatever feels best for the shoulders, right? Really thinking about the shoulders and the alignment, really pushing those hips up. Good, let's bring it down. And we're gonna bring it through and reach. Good, again. So either hands are in or out, whatever feels best for your shoulders. Bringing those hips up, scooting forward, lift, stretch, protect your neck. Always protect your neck, right? And bringing those through. And reach for the toes. We can even take your hands underneath your calves. Good, bringing it up. Come back to the knees. Tuck your toes under, going into down dog. Going into pigeon. So we're gonna bring your right leg up. Bend the knee, you're gonna tilt it over to the left. Really opening that hip. Nice side stretch here. Couple more breaths. Just really activating a nice stretch in the left calf, the left hamstring, adductor. Good. Now we're going to bring your knee through, and I bring it towards my right wrist. So that opens my hip. I flex my right foot, and then I just bring it down. Trying to keep both hips evenly, weighted here. It's like you're sinking into a nice half guard, right? Really think about breathing. Settling into position. And it's nice because in this stretch, you can either stay up here for a few breaths, because you are getting kind of a different stretch, a nice back bend. And then you're bringing it down. Just a couple more breaths. Good. When you're ready, we're going to bring it up. If I do a push-up to take the weight off my knee, right? So then I can come right into that nice down dog. What I'll do is I'll straighten my right leg and bend the left and kind of really get that hip stretched out. That was the one that was just in a nice deep pigeon stretch. Remember, whatever feels good for you guys, just moving the hips, stretching all the way through the spine. Let's do the other side. So bring the left side up. Stay here for a couple breaths. You can kind of feel good. Stretch that left or right calf, right adductor. Good. When you're ready, bring that left knee through, right? So then that opens my hip. I bring it over, crossing the hip, right? And then slide that back. That way, both hips are evenly distributed with weight. We're not favoring one side. If you have too much space underneath like your left hip, you can always place like a pillow or a blanket or a towel, anything that you have around you. And stay here for a few breaths because it is a different stretch as we pull forward. Play with it. You know, this one is one of those stretches that you can stay in for a while and do different things, stretch different places, focus on different places. So it's been one of my absolute favorites, especially if you get really locked up in the hip flexors. Good, folding forward when you're ready. Just a few more breaths, just allowing the body to settle in. Good, when you're ready, we're gonna do a little push-up. Bring the left leg back. Keep the left leg straight, bend your right knee. Just kind of stretch into that hip a little bit. Good. Bend the left knee now, straighten the right. And switch again. And switch again. Good. Bend both knees. Really press your hips back. Really think about lengthening through that tailbone. Good. We're going to bring your right leg up again. Tilt over, open. Opening up that hip. And then you're going to bring your right knee through, and you're going to place your right foot between your hands. So I bring my weight forward, and I put down. Good. Staying up if you can. If you have to, you can always bring the knee down, right? Sinking into the hip, and let's bring the upper body. Low crescent lunge. Really sinking in here, opening up. Deep breaths. Good. Exhale, bring those hands down, plank hands. Back to downward dog. Walk it out for a couple breaths here. So just really trying to get the spine to, bend backwards a little bit because we're always rolled forward when we're rolling. So really to keep the spine flexible. Good. Left leg up. Opening up again. And bringing it through, placing the hand or the foot between the hands. Either lowering the knee or keeping the knee lifted. Whatever feels best. And staying here. Breathe. Really opening up that hip flexor. Good, bring those hands down. Back to downward dog. Walk it out. So you're just gonna bend one knee, straighten the other. Good, when you're ready, let's go ahead and lower these knees. Sit back on those heels. So, in our practice, we think about what we're always constantly doing in jiu-jitsu, and we're trying to complement that. So really keeping these hip flexors as open as we can because we're always curled in. So coming up with this next one, you can call it, snowbird or snowboard or whatever, but we're gonna keep your toes tucked under. It kind of helps give you a little bit more height. We're gonna take your right hand to the matching heel, right heel, and then left arm's gonna come up and you're gonna extend all the way back. Knees are about hip width apart. You want a deeper stretch, you can go all the way over. Good, let's come back to center, other side. Really trying to extend all the way through the spine. Good, one more time. Coming back, we want to go deeper, opposite heel. Really activating those glutes, pushing your hips forward. And last time, other side. Good, that's coming back, child's pose or turtle's pose. Creating that back flexibility. Good, hands and knees. Downward dog. So from here, kind of walk out just a little bit, show you guys. We're gonna do our kind of hip thrust, right? So we're gonna bring knee in, kick through, and you can even add the toe touch, hand up, back, call these grasshoppers, many different names. Right, we're gonna do a few more, and then we'll stop and stretch at each one, right? So coming through, getting some nice hip mobility, right? Shoulder mobility. Coming up, nice and slow. Good, on this last one, we're gonna actually lower the hip down and add a nice stretch, right? So we bring the right leg in, stretch over, let's hold here. Just holding for a few breaths, right? Even if I can't grab my toes, I'll try to grab my calf, anything that's there, pant leg. You have your belt. Good, bringing it up, right? Coming in, keeping back. Down dog, other side. Kick it through, lower down. And remember, we're just bringing that other leg in and grabbing, right? Bring that other leg in and grabbing. If you can't grab here, you're gonna grab underneath. Just something that kind of helps you. Good, bring it up, coming in now. Back to down dog. Let's walk the dog. Good, lower your knees. Come down to your seat. Bring your feet together, butterfly. So really think about making sure sit bones are grounded. So I just kind of make sure my glutes are out of the way and I fold forward. Good, gently bringing it up. We're gonna roll it on down for our bridge. So this is a nice warm-up that we do in class, but it's also just, I think, a great yoga warm-up for the body before we go into rolls. So you're literally bridging up, taking opposite arm over to opposite ear, and then coming back, and other side, and back, and other side, and down, last time. Good, and coming down. Knees to chest, let's give them a great big hug going into our Shavasana. Go ahead, let's extend your legs one at a time, relax your arms. Close your eyes, just focus on the breath. Allowing your body to just relax, calm the nervous system down, let the parasympathetic system kick in. Go ahead, bring movement back into your toes and into your fingers. Stretch your wrists, roll your ankles, circle in each direction. And when you're ready, let's roll over to your right side. Sit back on it. Thank you for participating in this yoga for BJJ class provided by Wellness for JiuJitsu. And if you want to take more classes of only yoga for BJJ, please use the discount code below to get a discount to save money on your monthly membership. If not, see you next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Wellness for JiuJitsu's social media for free.